What's up, guys? Welcome back to the TOK channel. Today we'll be discussing the prompt ways of knowing or a check on our instinctive judgments, and to what extent I, as a knower, agree with this statement. Well, I want to start by defining what is a way of knowing, in my opinion. I believe ways of knowing to be the ways by which us as knowers come to not evaluate, but come to understand and make sense out of our world, which can be through ideas such as reason, faith, intuition, among other things, emotion as well. By a check on, I understand a check on to be a way of evaluation. It can challenge, reshape, affirm, reconsider, or even reinforce an idea, such as, in this case, instinctive judgments, which I understand to be the type of quick decisions that we make in our life that are automatic without much rational thought behind them. Found a good way to define the term intuition, which ties into this. By the way, it is done in the popular YouTube channel ASAP Science video called Should You Trust Your Gut Instinct? In the video, the narrator defines intuition as an expression of fast thinking in comparison to slow thinking, which would be this more complicated thought process. And well, today I don't want to talk about intuition as a way of knowing. I want to talk about intuition as part of the instinctive judgments, due to the fact that I think to make instinctive judgments you use intuition. Intuition is intrinsic to instinctive judgments, it's part of it, right? Instead, I want to evaluate the ways of knowing of emotion of faith and reason specifically. So, back to instinctive judgments, I see them to have an origin in biology, given that in the past, humans and our genetic ancestors have required to make quick decisions throughout life, usually in life or death situations. Today, technological advances have made life or death situations, while not less common, I guess less obvious. Now, while in the past, you might have been faced with the decision of whether or not to eat food that you weren't sure was safe, or whether or not to go somewhere where there might be an animal that could hurt you. Nowadays, the life or death decisions are a bit less obvious in the way that it can be whether or not a person you know is trustworthy, whether or not they may hurt you, they may do something bad to you, whether or not you're safe on the internet, I guess, such things. It's the same type of problem, but adjusted to our modern world. And well, in regards to the question, I want to say that I believe that ways of knowing are always a check on our instinctive judgments. What they differ in is how they are a check, whether it's a reflection or a challenge or reshape, or it makes you reconsider, it affirms it, it reinforces it, among other type of things. I have 3 examples for this. I have 2 examples regarding reason and 1 example regarding faith. The first would be Home Alone. I think everyone's seen the movie Home Alone. In Home Alone, the protagonist, Kevin, is scared of the man next door, even to a point that he screamed and ran away back into the house when he encountered the old man. So this is an instinctive judgment of Kevin's, to run away from the old man and to be scared of him. I believe that, however, if he had used reason, which is a way of knowing, he could have made a check on this instinctive judgment and reacted in a different way, or at least regretted his reaction, due to the fact that reason is a way of knowing that revolves around the use of logic to reach rational conclusions, right? And well, if he had used that, Kevin would have realized that the old man was just like any other old man that he's ever known. He's just a normal guy and he shouldn't have ran away. Sure enough, later in the movie, Kevin meets the old man and learns that he had nothing to fear. Now, I have an example about faith. So faith is a way of knowing, otherwise defined by myself as a commitment to an idea or mentality. It doesn't necessarily have to be religious. So I have an example that the commitment to the idea that all men are created equal. This can be an example of a check on in a situation where, for example, let's say I have some sort of prejudice against a group of people, and then when I encounter that a person that belongs to that group of people, could it be a religion, a race, an ethnic group, or other such group, I think of them as a threat. But then, through faith, through this way of knowing of mine, I check on this instinctive judgment to think of them as a threat and fear them. I check on them using the commitment to the idea that all men are created equal, that all men are the same, that I shouldn't judge them based off of their race or other such denomination. I can realize that there's nothing to fear. I have a personal example as well. This one uses reason. In the situation where I was with my friend walking on the street, and then we encountered an old man, like a poor guy, a homeless man. Anyway, my friend, he quickly goes over to the man and he offers him our food because we had food on us. And I was a bit more reluctant. I got very nervous. I thought, oh, what if the man hurts us? What if something bad happens? Blah, 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 blah. So I think that was my instinctive judgment, while my friend's instinctive judgment was to just straight up go to the man. I think if I had used reason and realized that this old man was just a regular guy and had no intention of harming me, he was just homeless and just on the street, I would have realized that there was nothing to fear, and I wouldn't have reacted the way that I did. So, yep. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Bye!